Oliver, welcome to this week's Hidden Wealth Solution Insights. What I talk about Hidden Wealth Radio this weekend is the roller coaster of corrections looks to continue. And it's very clear that China is running our markets, with Germany just this past Monday losing almost 6%, China losing almost 10%, which, by the way, they have a maximum loss per trading day of 10%. So China could have ultimately been a lot worse, and I'm afraid it's not going to get better before it gets worse. But why is this happening? And it's very clear. China's manufacturing, because they built too much too soon, is now slow to about a 6.5-year low, which is putting a lot of pressure on their markets because there's no proven growth. It sounds familiar if you think about it with ours, since we've got the most stimulus that we've ever been pushed into the system with the least amount of anemic growth at best, and the fact that interest rates have been pushed to zero and still getting people out of checking and savings into the market has not enabled us to sustain our market gains or prove any real major corporate earnings. In fact, corporate earnings were a measly 0.4% this past quarter. Not near enough to prove any true sustainable growth or long-term look at our economy improving if we look at the real information and not the media hype. Secondly, the Federal Reserve now, it's almost been a decade since they've raised rates, and that's got a lot of people on pins and needles. And then lastly, oil, which has plummeted, which has a major impact on imports and exports to a lot of other countries that are directly and indirectly tied to China. And this is clearly why the global economy is wreaking havoc on our retirement accounts, as CNBC and Fox Business have all said this past week. Wow, the impact to your 401k will be impacted for a long time. Folks, that's why it's happening. Let me teach you what you can do. Retirement insurance accounts, RIAs, not retirement investment accounts. Now think about your thinking. Protection. Protection doesn't mean you're giving up performance. Protection means getting, under this design, superior performance. That's why I'll teach this coming Tuesday how this has outperformed anything else you could have had your money in, and how our clients have more than safely doubled their retirement savings in comparison just in the last 5, 10, and 15 years. Now, they've also done that entirely tax-free. So I talk about time. And folks, I don't think there is a better time than right now to pay attention to what you can do to safeguard your retirement savings. And time stands for taxes will be rising. Fewer people paying in means those of us that are paying in are going to have to pay more. Inflation will be increasing. Clearly, the cost of things are going to be going up as interest rates rise. Markets will continue to be uncertain. We have a very faltering global economy that's wreaking havoc right here in our country. Proof of China being a great example of that. Japan's no better off. Germany's struggling. Greece is about to fall off the map. People are devaluating their currency. They're manipulating whether they're going to stay on the euro. I mean, the list just goes on and on. And then the E in time stands for the uncertainty in the economy being very uncertain. Economic uncertainty, ISIS, terrorism. I mean, the list goes on and on. This is to educate you, not to scare you. I want you to get educated to protect yourself, because the government can't do it. The government can't protect you, and it can't protect me, and it can't protect our economy. So we have to take the reins. And folks, when you think about the fact that the market's gone up like it has, and 97% of that over this last decade has been corporate buying back their own shares, corporate buybacks. You can't continue to do that at the pace that you're doing it, and eventually things not bubble and then burst. So we hope a total collapse does not take place, as many people are rumoring, but the corrections are significant enough that it's delaying people from retiring. I talked last week about from 1950 to 1986, there was always about 3 million people north of age 65 still in our workforce. Today it's over 8.5 million, almost 3 times that, because of the markets taking away people's retirement. Folks, go to solvemyretirement.com. That's solvemyretirement.com, and register for this coming Tuesday's no cost, no obligation wealth protection webinar. I want to teach you exactly how retirement insurance accounts work, how to avoid taxation, how to avoid market corrections and or collapses, and how to safeguard your retirement savings to not have to be somebody in the workforce because of you being forced to, as opposed to a choice to. If you prefer, you can call 855-668-2928. That's 855-668-2928. Now, But you've got to register. And for registering and attending, I want to gift you my book that teaches you the 5 greatest traps to retirement and the core 4 success criteria to be sure that you don't become a retirement statistic. Folks, you've worked hard for your money. Learn this Tuesday how to work smarter with that savings to avoid taxes, inflation, and market corrections or collapses. Here's to you finding your hidden wealth solutions.